guys, so there's a lot of confusion out there about this new Ford Escape recall that has to do with the electronic throttle body. So with that reflash, it's basically updated software so that it can sense the failure quicker and react to it better than just throwing its hands up in the air and just going, "I'm shutting down. I don't know what's going on." It's going to try to take care of the situation for you. In the meantime, of course, there's going to be a fault and it should get fixed, but in the meantime, it won't leave you, stranded basically. Ford does not give us the exacts of what has changed in there, but it's definitely something that has taken a while to come out, and there's definitely an improvement either way to the drivability after it has sensed the fault. Now, the 3.0 liter calibration has been out for a while, and it does affect the 2009 to 2011, I believe, escapes and fusions, and yours may or may not be on the list because it depends on your build date and it depends on the plant that where it was built at. And the 2.5 liter calibration was pushed back, and as of I think last week, it finally came out. So 2.5 liter and the 3.0 liter calibrations are out, and they're available. So as long as you get that letter, you should come in and definitely get that service done. And the other recall I want to talk about, and I'll go into a little more detail about it, I'll show examples. This one right here actually came in with it, and it was I think it go about 5 miles an hour. It was shutting down on, so I had it towed in, and what I want to go over is how it fails inside of there. Now, many of you are complaining that, well, if they're all basically going to fail due to these contacts and the motor on there, why don't they just change them up? Well, they always try something to try to get by, and that's the sad fact about it. That would cost them a lot of money. The good thing about Ford is that they stand behind their customers really well compared to others, especially other like imports and stuff like that. I've heard horror stories about them. They'll just walk away from you basically. The imports and manufacturers, whereas Ford, they got all kinds of programs to help you even out of warranty, believe it or not. Many people just don't know about it. So yes, they've got an update out for a new calibration for the throttle body, and for the PCM, and it's to help you get out of those sticky situations so it doesn't completely shut down on you. You can handle it a little bit better. So many of you complain about they just change the throttle bodies. Yes, well, the thing is they do have that other recall out. They didn't just put out a reflash and say, "Hey, it'll get you through, buddy." No, they initially put out that 13N03, which is, I believe, 10 years, 150,000 miles of extended coverage on that throttle body. And with the new software, it'll get you through if it actually does fail, so that your car is a lot more drivable when it does happen, if it does happen. It won't leave you totally stranded. Again, for most of you that are out there that may experience this, maybe watching this before it actually happens, from reports that I've had is that if you turn the key off, when this happens, pull over to the side of the road, you turn the key off, and then you let it sit for 10, 15, 30 seconds, and then you start it up, let it idle for a minute or so, and usually you can put it in drive and drive on your merry way. Until it sees the fault again, it's not going to go into that limited power mode. And the limited power mode is not like a major engine failure. That is just like the engine's bogging down and cutting out. No, the PCM is telling it to do that. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's because it is drive-by-wire. There's a bunch of different redundancies on these that help prevent runaways, I guess you could say, unintended acceleration, like the Toyotas were having for a while there for whatever reason. You don't want that to happen because it is drive-by-wire. So again, they have the new one out. There is if yours does come in for the new throttle body, the new one that has come out has been out for about 8 months now, and I've not had any issues or reports of any issues with this latest one, which is the D suffix. The previous ones, they changed about 3, 4, 5 times. Those that kept changing them, whereas the D, that's been out, they got it figured out, and we're good to go. So without yakking anymore, I'm going to go over what the throttle body looks like, and I'm going to show you what's on the inside of it, what actually fails on the inside that they're seeing. Whereas back in the old days, they had the actual, like a 3-track, 2 or 3-track wiper arm, and it would move with the plate in there, kind of like the old TP sensors, right? Well, those were failing all the time. So it was a physical contact. Now there's an actual like a Hall effect type thing going on for the throttle position sensor inside of there, and it works a-okay. Now on these, the problem that they're having is the actual plating problems of the little motor that's inside of there that runs the gears to move the plate back and forth. Intermittent connectivity in those contacts equals a shutdown. So you want to have no control over the throttle. Before I forget, before you see a light, before you see a check engine light, before you see a wrench light, what you may notice are a few things. Surging. You're just surging going down the road. If you're just cruising down the road, 30 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, it's just surging. And it's not going to be that harsh, but more like, and it's not going to throw you in a seat, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it feels like it's fighting the wind. There's no wind. It's like, what the heck's going on? You may get hesitation on takeoff. You may get it where there's parking lot maneuvers, pull into a spot, and there's like a RPM dip and then a surge, you know, type deal, stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different symptoms, and it can happen for a while before that light actually comes on.
Okay, so here's the location for the electronic throttle body on a 2.5 liter, which is also part of the recall. Give you a reference here. And then here it is on the 3.0 liter. It's right there. And the reason why the 2.5 and the 3.0 liter both have the same exact concern is because the throttle body is exactly the same. So that's why they share that commonality between models of Fusion and Escapes and the engine types. Okay, so here's the throttle body actually from another vehicle. I got a whole pile of them over there with the heat and age of these vehicles. We're just starting to see them left and right coming in for failures. So the problem with these is this. Take this side cover off of here, right? And here's the actual like Hall effect type sensor on here, right? This is the actual magnetic sensor that is attached to the plate, so we can sense position. And then it goes up into here, and this actual area right here is what senses it in electronics. Now the problem on these is these contacts right here that come down and they feed power to this motor right here. And I went through this before in another throttle body video, but this is specific to the Escapes and the Fusions. So it's very simple. It's got a bunch of gear sets in here, and this one is just like a transfer gear with an idler shaft here, and that's a regular old like DC motor that you may see in like a RC car or something like that. You can see it goes right in here, and that just drives the gears. And between this and the gear reduction, between the small pinion and the bigger spurs, we can get a very accurate driving of the plate itself based on this ratio. And also we'll get what this is, extreme torque. So we have there is ice breakage strategies and all that in case the throttle body starts icing up. They can have enough torque on here to actually break that also. Now these, in case you're trying to take yours off or whatever, I'm just going to make a side note. Obviously for a recall you're not going to be touching it yourself. In case you're watching this and you plan on taking this off and checking it off yourself in the future, do not ever touch don't ever stick your fingers through here trying to clean it with a rag or something like that while it's connected with the electrical connector itself. If this thing decides to close or open or trying to get to its home position or whatever, you got the key on, the connector connected up. Ford actually said these things have enough torque between the gear ratio reduction here and all that to actually cut your finger off. So it's just an aside right there. But yeah, it's the actual contacts here. They had a plating problem apparently, and they don't want us going in because it's it's most likely a plating problem on the motor side and this side. So between the two of them, it would just cost too much. They just have us put a whole brand new throttle body inside of there. The rest of it is perfectly fine except for the actual plating problem on the actual motor contacts. So you have that intermittent connectivity, and therefore it won't drive to the right position. And as you can see, there is a return spring in here, so that if this motor just fails and it's not putting out, it's not spinning this. Let's see here, we can open it up like we're driving down the road, right? And then this motor just gives out, or it starts working intermittently because the contacts are bad. Yeah, you can see we get surging and the jerking and everything else going on the road or parking lot situations. And here's the brand new one that they're giving us, and it looks just about identical to the old ones, except for it's all brand new and shiny. But these ones, like I said, are definitely been failure free for a long time. Before the recalls even came out, I've been changing these for years. Back as far as 2010, when they actually did come out, we had some really low mileage failures. So I've been changing these out for a good long while, and the D suffix on the part number is actually taking care of it, and we're not seeing no more failures at all. Okay, so hopefully that demystifies a little bit about this recall. I actually started a post in Escape City, I believe, forums, and there's been a lot of banter back and forth between people about this. So hopefully this demystifies it a lot, because Ford likes to keep customers in the dark to a point, and I'm sure there's a legal side to that. They don't want to know too much technical information. Which is fine. They don't even let us know too much either. But I just want to give you an inside look and let you know exactly what's going on to your vehicles to try and remedy the situation. This is a very, very common situation. I'm just glad Ford has stepped up in multiple ways to make their customers happy and make their cars safe.